They stopped calling for help. 14 Navy SEALs trapped in a canyon where aircraft go to die, ammunition running dry, blood mixing with Afghan dust, command already writing their names on casualty lists. The radios went silent because hope died first. Then engines roared over the mountains, not rescue, revenge. A sound that made every hostile fighter freeze because they remembered. 3 years ago, one pilot tore through this same valley and walked away. The captain they tried to bury, the woman they said was too dangerous to fly. She's back. Captain Maya Phoenix Cross doesn't follow orders anymore, and the canyon that killed 40 aircrew is about to learn why they named her Phoenix. She always rises from the ashes. Quick pause before we continue. Tell us, where in the world are you watching from? If you're enjoying these stories, make sure to hit subscribe, because tomorrow's episode is absolutely incredible. Forward Operating Base Salerno sits under mountains that touch clouds. Dust covers everything. The smell of jet fuel hangs in the air like a promise or a threat. Captain Maya Cross sits on an ammunition crate outside Hangar 3. Her flight suit is unzipped. Tank top underneath shows burn scars across her left shoulder. Souvenirs from a mission that ended her career. Or should have. She doesn't look at the sky anymore. She looks at the grey A-10 Thunderbolt parked in shadow 50 meters away. Hog 7, her aircraft, was her aircraft. 11 months since she last flew it. 11 months since they grounded her. 11 months since she saved 6 Marines and destroyed her future doing it. The crate is dented. She's worn the metal smooth. This is where she sits every day, watching, waiting. For what? She doesn't know anymore. A crew chief walks past. Young sergeant, grease on his hands. He doesn't stop, doesn't make eye contact, just drops 3 words as he passes. Devil's Throat Canyon. Maya stands. The words hit like electricity. She doesn't ask questions. Doesn't need to. If someone's mentioning that canyon, Americans are dying. The sergeant keeps walking. Smart man. Knows when to disappear. Maya crosses the flight line. Her boots strike concrete with purpose. Her stride changes, becomes the walk of a hunter. This is the walk of a pilot heading to war. A young airman sees her coming. His eyes go wide. He reaches for his radio, then stops. His hand drops. He knows who she is. Everyone on this base knows. She reaches Hog 7. Runs her hand along the nose. Metal is warm from the afternoon sun. Battle damage from her last mission still visible. Patched, but not painted. They never bothered. Easier to let the aircraft rot than admit they might need her again. Ma'am, you're not cleared to... She's already climbing the ladder. Doesn't look back. Doesn't acknowledge him. The cockpit smells like hydraulic fluid and old sweat. Home. She drops into the seat. Her hands move automatically, muscle memory taking over. Master switch, battery, APU start. Systems groan to life, reluctant, like waking something that wanted to stay buried. Diagnostics scroll across the displays. Fuel at 72%. Hydraulics showing yellow. Flares questionable. Gun ammunition loaded. Good enough. Inside the Tactical Operations Center, controlled chaos fills the space. Screens glow with satellite feeds and drone footage. Radio chatter overlaps, someone shouting grid coordinates. Another voice calling for medical evacuation. Colonel James Ironside Brennan stands at the center. 50s, grey hair, jaw like granite. He's been base commander for 4 years. Good officer. By the book. That's his strength. That's also his problem. Major Sarah Chen leans over a digital map table. 40s, sharp eyes, operations officer, voice of reason in a room that stopped being reasonable 6 hours ago. Status on Phantom 2-1, Brennan says. His voice is flat, controlled. Emotion gets people killed. Lieutenant Marcus Webb looks up from his station. Intelligence officer, 28 years old. Too young for the weight he carries. Last transmission 4 minutes ago, sir. They're down to 1 magazine per operator. Multiple casualties confirmed. Requesting immediate extraction. He pauses, swallows. Location is Devil's Throat Canyon, northern sector. Grid Quebec 77. The room goes quiet, not silent, worse. The kind of quiet that comes when everyone knows what those words mean. Someone mutters a curse. Brennan's jaw flexes, only sign of emotion. Available air assets? Jen doesn't need to check. She's been running these numbers for hours. 2 Apache gunships at Chapman. 6 F-16s on strip alert here. 1 Predator drone over Kandahar. 1 AC-130 returning from Bagram. Get them airborne, now! Sir, Chen's voice is careful. That canyon has a 94% loss rate. 9 aircraft down in 4 years. The Apaches won't risk it. The F-16s can't operate below the ridgelines. The geography... I know the geography, Major. Then you know we're asking pilots to fly into a meat grinder. Brennan turns, faces her directly. Those are 14 American operators dying in that canyon. We don't abandon them. I'm not suggesting we abandon them, sir. I'm suggesting we find another approach. What other approach? Chen has no answer. The mathematics of the situation don't allow for good options. Staff Sergeant Rodriguez sits at the communications console, 30s. Headset pressed tight. He's been listening to Phantom 2-1's radio traffic for 7 hours, listening to them die slowly. His screen flickers. New alert. Sir, we have an unauthorized engine start. Hangar 3 area. Brennan turns. Identify. Rodriguez's fingers move across his keyboard. His face changes. Hog 7, tail number Alpha 859er. The room shifts. Everyone knows that tail number. Everyone knows that aircraft. Who authorized this? Brennan's voice drops, dangerous quiet. No one, sir. No flight plan filed, no clearance requested. Aircraft is taxiing toward the runway. Chen closes her eyes. She knows. Everyone knows. It's cross, someone mutters. Brennan's hands close into fists. Get me tower, now. Inside the control tower, Senior Airman Jackson mans the radio. He sees the A-10 rolling toward the runway. No call sign, no request, just moving. His radio crackles. Tower, this is Brennan. Who cleared that warthog for taxi? Jackson swallows. Sir, negative clearance given. Aircraft is moving without authorization. Stop her! Jackson keys his microphone. Hog 7, you are not cleared for taxi. Return to parking immediately. The A-10 keeps rolling, engines spooling higher. Hog 7, acknowledge. You are not cleared. This is a direct order. Nothing. Radio silent. Jackson watches the warthog reach the runway threshold, watches it turn. Line up perfectly on center line. Engines roar to full power. Sir, she's taking the active. Scramble security. Block the... Too late. Hog 7 surges forward. Nose gear lifts. Main gear follows. The aircraft claws into the sky. Jackson stares. He's never seen a takeoff that aggressive, that desperate, that beautiful. Inside the cockpit, Maya climbs steep. 45-degree angle. G-forces press her into the seat. She ignores the radio. They're shouting, ordering her to return, threatening court-martial, prison time. She's already been grounded, already lost everything that mattered. What more can they take? Devil's Throat Canyon is 35 kilometers northeast. She banks hard, levels off at 3,000 feet. Eyes scan the horizon, looking for the ridge that marks the entrance to hell. Her radio suddenly clears. One voice cuts through. Brennan. Cross, turn around. That's not a request. She doesn't answer. Captain, you are violating direct orders. If you continue, there will be consequences. She keys her microphone once, brief click. There already were. Then she switches frequencies. In the canyon, Senior Chief Petty Officer Ethan Hammer Stone presses his back against a boulder. Blood soaks through his right sleeve. Not his blood, his swim buddies. Petty Officer Second Class Tyler Grant. Kid took shrapnel to the arm. Still fighting, still breathing. Stone's SEAL team is scattered across 40 meters of broken ground. They're pinned. Crossfire from 4 sides. No cover worth mentioning. 3 men already dead, 4 wounded. The math doesn't work anymore. Stone's been a SEAL for 18 years. Husband, father of 2 girls. He's seen impossible situations before, trained to never quit, never surrender. But training doesn't change geometry. Can't change the fact that they're boxed in a kill zone with no exit. His radio operator, Petty Officer First Class Marcus Sparks Rivera, crouches beside him, young face streaked with dust and blood. Hammer, we're down to 30 rounds per man, maybe less. Stone nods. Does the math. At their current rate of fire, they have maybe 10 minutes. Then it's knives and fists. Then it's over. Petty Officer First Class. David Doc Morrison works on a wounded SEAL 20 feet away. Hospital corpsman, Second Class. Best combat medic Stone has ever seen. Doc's working on Petty Officer Second Class Jake Rookie Henderson, 24 years old. First deployment. Took rounds to the chest. Body armor stopped them. Broken ribs. Internal bleeding suspected. Rook, stay with me, Doc says, calm, professional, like they're not about to die. Henderson's eyes flutter. Can't breathe right, Doc? That's the ribs. You're fine. Just stay calm. Henderson tries to smile. Fails, blood on his teeth. Above them on the western ridge, Commander Farid Bashar watches through binoculars. Early 40s, beard going grey, eyes like a hawk. He wears local clothes, no uniform, doesn't need one. Everyone here knows who he is. Malik stands beside him, older, heavier, face like weathered stone. Second in command. Questions nothing. They've stopped returning fire, Malik says. Conserving ammunition. Bashar lowers the binoculars. It won't matter. They're finished. The Americans will send aircraft. They already tried. One helicopter turned back this morning. The canyon defeated it. Bashar looks toward Salerno, calculates. They'll send fast movers. F-16s, maybe F-18s. Too fast, too high. They'll drop bombs and hit nothing. By the time they realize it won't work, the SEALs will be dead. Malik nods. He's seen it before. Geography wins more battles than technology. What about the woman? Malik asks quietly. Bashar goes still, barely noticeable, but Malik sees it. What woman? The one who flew through the southern pass 3 years ago. The one who survived what no one else could. She's grounded, punished by her own commanders. She won't come. Malik waits. Bashar always has more to say. But if she does, Bashar continues, then we'll be ready this time. I've had 3 years to prepare. Back at Salerno, the operations center has transformed into a war room. Screens show live feeds from 2 drones circling high above Devil's Throat Canyon. Too high to help, just high enough to watch Americans die. Captain Rick Viper Martinez strides in, flight suit zipped to regulation, helmet under his arm. Dark hair, sharp eyes. He's an F-16 pilot. One of the best. Sir, I can be airborne in 2 minutes, he says to Brennan. Chen shakes her head. Viper, the canyon's too narrow. F-16s can't maneuver at those speeds. Then I'll stay high. Provide overwatch. Suppress enemy positions from altitude. The walls are too steep. You won't have line of sight to the kill zone. Martinez's jaw sets. He and Maya Cross used to fly together before the incident. Before she broke every rule and made him look bad by association. Then what do you want me to do, sir? Wait. Brennan stares at the screen showing Hog 7's radar track. Moving fast, heading directly toward the canyon. Sir, Martinez says carefully. Request permission to intercept Cross. Force her to turn back. Brennan considers, then shakes his head. Negative. Sir, if she's going in anyway. We're not pulling resources to stop her. He turns to Jen. Get the extraction birds airborne. Have them hold at 20 kilometers. If Cross somehow clears the path, I want them ready. Chen hesitates, then nods, picks up the radio. Martinez stares at Brennan. You're letting her go. I'm not stopping her. She's violating orders, flying an unauthorized combat mission. She's saving 14 men if she pulls it off. Brennan's voice hardens. Or dying trying. Either way, Captain, it's out of my hands now. Martinez's hands close into fists, then he turns, walks out. Maya sees the canyon entrance ahead. Ridgeline cutting across the horizon. The geography shifts here. Flat desert gives way to jagged mountains, ancient rock carved by wind and violence into something hostile. She drops lower, 2,000 feet, 1,500, 1,000. The warthog responds, sluggish. She can feel the 11 months of sitting, feel the stiffness in the hydraulics. But the bird flies, that's enough. Her radio crackles, different voice, older, rough around the edges. Phoenix, this is Storm King. Maya's hand freezes on the throttle. That call sign, she knows it. Colonel Catherine Storm Sloan, retired now, her first instructor, the woman who taught her to fly the A-10 22 years ago. Storm. Maya's voice is quiet. You're heading into the throat. Yes, ma'am. They're telling me you're not cleared, not authorized, that you're violating orders. Yes, ma'am. Silence. Long enough that Maya thinks the transmission dropped. Then Sloane's voice returns. You remember what I taught you about that canyon? Fly low, trust the bird, don't think. And if you're going to do something stupid, do it fast. Sloane almost laughs. Almost. Good hunting, Phoenix. The transmission ends. Maya takes a breath, holds it, releases slowly. The canyon walls rise ahead. Dark stone, deep shadows. She can see the entrance now, narrow gap, maybe 60 feet across, maybe less. Her radio crackles again. This time it's stone. Any station, this is Phantom 2-1. Taking heavy fire, multiple casualties. Request immediate extraction. His voice is steady, professional, but Maya can hear it underneath. The resignation. He's not calling for help, he's recording his last transmission. She keys her microphone. This is Phoenix, I'm 90 seconds out. Silence. Then say again, Phoenix. 90 seconds. Keep your heads down. Another pause. Longer. She can hear voices in the background. Someone saying impossible words. Stone comes back, his voice different now. Phoenix, be advised. Canyon is hot. Multiple hostiles on ridgelines. RPGs confirmed. We've had one bird turn back. This is not a safe approach. Hammer, nothing about this is safe. Just tell me where you need the pain delivered. She can hear the change in his voice. Not hope, not yet, but something close. Western Ridge, 40 meters above our position. They've got us zeroed. Copy, going silent. Watch for the fireworks. Maya switches off her radio. No more chatter, no more orders. Just her and the canyon. Hog 7 drops below the ridgeline, disappears from Salerno's radar. In the operations center, Rodriguez stares at his screen. Sir, we've lost contact with Hog 7. Brennan nods. She's below radar coverage. Should I keep the channel open? If she calls you, answer. Chen stands beside Brennan, both watching the drone feed showing the canyon entrance. She's either the bravest pilot I've ever seen, Chen says quietly, or the craziest. Brennan doesn't answer, just watches the screen, waiting. The canyon swallows Maya whole. Rock walls close in, 70 feet on each side, then 60. The canyon narrows like a throat tightening. Maya drops to 200 feet above the canyon floor. Her altimeter screams. She silences it, doesn't need machines telling her what her eyes already know. The warthog shudders. Crosswind hits from the right. She compensates. Trim adjustment, slight rudder pressure. The bird steadies. Sunlight dies. Shadow swallows her. The walls rise 400 feet straight up. Ancient stone carved by water that dried up millennia ago. Now it's just a corridor. A killing corridor. Her hands stay loose on the stick. Tension kills pilots. She learned that young. The memory hits without warning. 11 months ago, different canyon, same nightmare. She's flying close air support for a Marine patrol. 18 Marines moving through a valley south of Kandahar. Routine patrol. Intelligence said the area was clear. Intelligence was wrong. The ambush opens up. Automatic weapons from both ridges. Coordinated, professional. The Marines scatter, take cover, return fire. The patrol commander is screaming into his radio. 6 wounded, 2 critical. Need immediate evac. Command responds. Ice cold. Negative on ground extraction. Area too hot. Fall back to checkpoint Delta. Delta is 8 kilometers through hostile territory. We've got Marines who won't make 600 meters. Understood. Phoenix is overhead for air support. Use it to break contact. Maya makes 4 gun runs, shreds the ambush positions, creates corridors. The patrol moves. But the 2 critical Marines are slowing everyone down, bleeding out. The mathematics of survival becoming impossible. The patrol commander makes the call. Command, we need to leave them. They're gone anyway. Silence on the radio, then copy, withdraw to Delta. Maya watches the patrol move out, watches 2 Marines laid against rocks, still breathing, left behind because the numbers said they were already dead. She doesn't think. Thinking gets people killed. She lands the A-10 in a dry riverbed, under fire, hydraulics screaming. She pops the canopy, waves the Marines over. It takes 9 minutes to load them into the gun bay behind the cockpit. Not designed for passengers, barely room for equipment. She wedges them in anyway. Takeoff is a controlled crash. Bullets punch through the tail section. She clears the ridge by 12 feet. Both Marines survive. Maya gets grounded pending investigation. The canyon curves left. Maya follows it. The Warthog's wings nearly brush stone. She's flying on instinct now. No thought, just reaction. Her shape moves on the eastern ridge. Human, she marks it, doesn't engage. Not yet. Save ammunition, pick targets that matter. Her radio crackles. She turned it back on 30 seconds ago. Needs to hear if stone calls. Phoenix, this is Salerno, talk, respond. She recognizes the voice. Lieutenant Ahmed Bashir, Afghan Air Force liaison, good man, knows this terrain better than the Americans ever will. She keys her microphone. Talk Phoenix, go. Phoenix, be advised you are entering the narrowest section. Width decreases to 43 feet in approximately 1 click. There is a thermal updraft at the bend. Winds gusting to 35 knots. Recommend... Copy all, Phoenix continuing. Bashir pauses, then, good luck, Captain. She doesn't answer. Luck ran out 11 months ago. At Salerno, Bashir stands in the talk. Late 20s, sharp uniform, maps spread across his station. He studied this canyon for 4 years, knows every bend, every danger. He's watched 9 aircraft go down here. Brennan approaches. What are her chances? Bashir doesn't sugarcoat it. If she flies high, she'll be exposed to RPG fire for 13 kilometers. They'll hit her before she reaches the SEAL position. And if she stays low? The canyon narrows to less than 45 feet in 4 sections. An A-10's wingspan is 57 feet. Brennan's face doesn't change, so she can't make it. She can't make it flying level. Bashir pulls up a satellite image, points. Here, the canyon tilts 27 degrees. If she banks and flies on knife edge, the wingspan fits. Barely. Has anyone done that? No one has survived attempting it. Chen joins them, listening. She looks at the map. How does Bashar know to use this canyon? What makes him so effective here? Bashir's expression darkens. Commander Farid Bashar was Afghan National Army, trained by Americans at Forward Operating Base Lightning in 2010. He learned our tactics, our procedures, how we think. What happened? His village was destroyed in an airstrike in 2014. Wrong coordinates, wrong target. His wife and son were killed. He survived. They didn't. Bashir looks at Brennan. He knows American air doctrine better than most American pilots. He knows what you'll do before you do it. Does he know about Cross? Everyone in this region knows about Cross. 3 years ago, she flew through a canyon 40 kilometers south, saved 12 soldiers. The locals talk about it. They have a name for her. Bashir hesitates. What name? Al-Nur al-Harb, the fire of war. They say she flies like something hunting, like fire that cannot be extinguished. In the canyon, Maya reaches the bend. The walls tilt inward. The gap shrinks. She banks right, 90 degrees. The Warthog rolls onto its side, wings vertical, fuselage horizontal. 45 feet of clearance, maybe 46. The HUD shows her wingtips 2 feet from stone on each side. Her breathing stays steady, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Don't tense, don't overthink. The bend lasts 7 seconds, feels like 7 hours. He rolls back level. The canyon widens slightly, 60 feet, then 75. Ahead, the terrain opens into a wider basin, maybe 250 feet across. This is where Stone's team is pinned. She sees them, 14 shapes pressed against rocks, muzzle flashes from the ridges above, coordinated fire, professional. Stone sees her. The A-10 coming in low, engines roaring like the voice of something ancient and angry. He waves his arm, pointing, indicating targets. Maya doesn't need directions. She can read the battlefield from the air, sees the ambush positions, 4 clusters, west ridge, east slope, north outcrop, south elevation. She picks the west ridge, biggest threat, heaviest fire. Her thumb hovers over the trigger. The GU-8 Avenger, 30mm rotary cannon, depleted uranium rounds. It's why the A-10 exists. Everything else is just support for the gun. She lines up, drops the nose 5 degrees, sight picture perfect, squeezes. The gun roars. Brrrt. The sound hammers the canyon. 7 barrels spinning at 3,900 rounds per minute. The entire aircraft shudders, slows. The recoil is that strong. 30mm rounds tear into the west ridge. Rock explodes, dust erupts, bodies tumble. 2 seconds of fire, 75 rounds downrange. She pulls up, banks left. The gun run took her dangerously close to the eastern wall. She clears it by 8 feet. On the ground, Stone watches the ridge disintegrate, watches the ambush position vanish in a storm of fire and stone. Doc Morrison stares upward, mouth open. Holy! Keep working, Stone snaps, but even his voice carries relief. Petty Officer Second Class, Tyler Dagger Vance, demolitions expert grins. That's Cross. Told you she'd come. Chief Petty Officer Liam Brick Torres, heavy weapons specialist, shakes his head. She's insane. No one flies that low. She just did. Maya climbs, gains altitude, circles back. Her eyes scan for threats. Movement on the east slope. RPG team, 2 men, 1 holding the launcher, 1 loading. She rolls inverted, dives, unorthodox, dangerous, but it gives her the angle she needs. Trigger squeeze, 1 second burst. The RPG team disappears. The launcher explodes, secondary detonation, warhead cooking off. She rolls upright, levels off, checks her instruments. Fuel at 58%, hydraulics still yellow, flares still questionable, guns still loaded. Her radio crackles, Stone's voice. Phoenix, Phantom 2-1. West ridge is clear, east slope neutralized, north outcrop still active. Copy, making another pass. But as she banks, something flashes on the north outcrop, bright metallic. Missile launch. Her threat warning screams. Radar lock, heat seeker. She doesn't panic. Panic kills. She counts 1, 2. At 3, she punches flares. 2 shoot out, burn bright, magnesium white. The missile tracks, chases the flares, detonates 40 feet behind her. Shrapnel peppers her tail. Warning lights blink. She checks the damage readout. Left stabilizer hit. Not critical. Still functional. She reverses course. Comes at the north outcrop from a different angle. They won't expect that. Gun run, short burst, 30 rounds. The outcrop position goes silent. Stone stands, waves his team up. Move now! The SEALs scramble, carrying wounded, dragging gear, moving toward cover deeper in the basin. Doc Morrison hauls Henderson, the kids losing color, too much blood lost. Stay with me, Rook, we're moving. Henderson's eyes flutter. Did you see that? Did you see her? Yeah, kid, I saw. She's really back. Yeah, now shut up and let me carry you. On the western ridge, Bashar watches through binoculars, his jaw tight. Malik stands beside him. She flies differently now, more aggressive, more precise. She always flew precisely, that's what makes her dangerous. Bashar lowers the binoculars, looks at Malik. Pull the teams back to secondary positions, prepare the trap. You expected her. I hoped for her. Bashar's smile is cold. 3 years ago she surprised me, caught me unprepared. This time I've had 3 years to plan. Malik hesitates. What if she doesn't take the bait? She will. She's saving those men. She won't stop until they're safe. He gestures toward the canyon's southern end. She has to fly through the choke point. Everyone does, and that's where we kill her. Malik nods, moves to relay orders. Bashar watches the A-10 circle, studies its flight pattern, looking for damage, looking for weakness. He sees it, slight wobble in the tail, port stabilizer compromised. He lifts his radio, speaks in Pashto. All teams, target the tail, wound the bird, make her bleed. The helicopters descend into the extraction zone. Dust erupts. Rotor wash creates chaos. The SEALs move through it fast, loading wounded first. Henderson is lifted onto the first bird. Doc Morrison climbs in after him, starts working immediately. Stone boards the second helicopter, last man. He looks back at the canyon, sees the A-10 circling, trailing smoke, barely flying. He keys his radio. Phoenix, Phantom 2-1 is loaded. We're clear. Maya's voice comes back. Copy, get out of here. What about you? I'll manage. Stone wants to argue, can't. Thank you. Thank the taxpayers. They bought the aircraft. The transmission ends. The Blackhawks lift, heavy, struggling. They turn north, accelerate away. Maya watches them go, counts seconds, 10, 20, 30. They're clear of weapons range, safe. Her job is done. Then her threat receiver screams. Multiple locks, radar-guided. 2 missiles inbound from the plane, mobile launchers targeting the helicopters. She doesn't think. She rolls, dives, plants herself in the missile's path, makes herself the brightest target. Both missiles lock on her. She hits flares. One missile tracks the flare, detonates. The second keeps coming. Smarter warhead. She dives toward the ground, full throttle. At 100 feet, she pulls hard. Emergency climb. The missile can't match the turn. It shoots past, impacts the ground. She levels off, breathing hard. Fuel at 19%. Right engine quits, dead. She's flying on one engine now. Her radio crackles. Bashar's voice. Captain Cross, you saved them. But you won't save yourself. My fighters are moving to your crash site coordinates. You'll eject into our hands. She doesn't answer, just flies. Her left engine coughs. Fuel at 15%. 13, 11. The engine quits. Both engines dead. No fuel, no power, silence, just wind over the canopy. She's gliding. Heavy aircraft, poor glide ratio. Maybe 2 minutes before physics wins. Brennan's voice fills her radio. Phoenix, vector to heading 340. Emergency strip at 12 kilometers. Dirt runway. No tower, but it's flat. She adjusts course. Can she make it? Maybe, if the winds cooperate, if physics gives her a break. She watches the altimeter unwind. 2,000 feet, 1,500, 1,000. She spots the strip, barely visible. Just cleared ground. No markings, nothing but dirt. She lines up. Dead stick landing. No power, no hydraulics, no options. Final approach. 400 feet, 200, 100. The Warthog drops fast. She pulls the nose up, flares, bleeds speed. The main gear hits hard, bounces, hits again, stays down. She's rolling, too fast, no brakes. She drags the stick back, nose high, increases drag. The aircraft shudders, skids, finally stops. Silence. Maya sits in the cockpit, just breathing, every muscle trembling. She's alive somehow. Her radio crackles. Phoenix confirms status. She keys her microphone. Voice hoarse. Hog 7 on deck. Systems dead. Aircraft destroyed. But I'm walking away. Copy, Phoenix. Search and rescue inbound. 8 minutes. She sits back, closes her eyes. 8 minutes. She can manage that. Her radio crackles again. Stone's voice. Phoenix, Phantom 2-1. Fletcher's stable. Surgery successful. Doc says he'll make it. All 14 of us are coming home because of you. Her chest tightens. The kid will live. They'll all live. Copy, Hammer. Glad to hear it. We won't forget this, any of us. You have our respect, always. The transmission ends. Maya climbs out. Her legs nearly give out. Adrenaline crash. She walks around the Warthog, left wing shredded, right engine destroyed, tail section barely attached. The fuselage is scorched, panels hanging loose. She places her hand on the nose. Thanks for getting me home. Engines overhead, 2 Blackhawks inbound. They land 50 meters away. Rescue jumpers pile out. A senior airman approaches. Ma'am, are you injured? No, I'm fine. Medical will clear you at base. Let's go. She climbs into the Black Hawk, straps in. The helicopter lifts, banks towards Salerno. The destroyed Warthog shrinks below. Abandoned, she looks away. Salerno appears on the horizon. The Black Hawk lands on the medical pad. Before the skids touch, she sees the crowd. Officers, ground crew, mechanics. Word spread fast. She climbs out, walks across the pad. People watch, some nod. Most stay silent, respectful. Brennan waits at the edge. He approaches, extends his hand. She takes it. Captain, what you did today saved 14 lives. That matters. Thank you, sir. However, you violated multiple regulations. There will be an investigation, consequences. I understand, sir. He lowers his voice. But there are also people interested in pilots like you, people who value initiative, unconventional thinking. They'll be in touch. She nods, understanding. Chen approaches. Captain, the SEAL team wants to see you. They're in the medical facility. Maya walks to the hospital, finds Stone and his team in the waiting area, still in gear, dirt and blood caked on their uniforms. Stone stands when he sees her. His team follows. They form a line. Each one shakes her hand. No words needed. How's Henderson? Maya asks. Surgery went well. Doc says full recovery, few months rehab, then back to the teams. Stone pauses. Because you bought us time. Torres steps forward. Ma'am, whatever happens next, you have friends, us, always. She nods. Can't speak, emotion too close. That night, Maya sits alone in her quarters. Her phone rings. Unknown number, she answers. A woman's voice. Captain Cross, we should talk. There's a position opening, classified work, requires pilots who think differently, who act when others freeze. Interested? Maya looks at her flight suit, torn, blood-stained, burned. She thinks about Henderson, about Stone, about 14 men alive because she ignored orders. I'm interested. Good. Someone will contact you tomorrow. Be ready. The call ends. Maya lies back on her bunk, stares at the ceiling. Her career with the regular Air Force is over. She knows that. But something else is beginning. Something dangerous. Something necessary. She closes her eyes, sees the canyon, sees the seals, sees the impossible geometry of survival. She survived today. Tomorrow brings something new, something unknown. But she'll be ready. She's always ready, because that's what warriors do. They fly when others can't. They fight when others won't. They sacrifice when others refuse. The sky doesn't care about names, doesn't care about glory. The sky only cares about one thing. Can you fly through it? Maya Cross proved she could, and she'll prove it again. Different mission, different battlefield, same warrior. The canyon waits, always waits. But next time she'll be ready. Next time she'll be better. Because once you've flown through hell and survived, nothing else seems impossible. 2 weeks later, a brief news report appears. Captain Maya Cross, United States Air Force, has been medically retired following injuries sustained in a training incident. Her distinguished service included multiple commendations for close air support operations. She will be missed. No mention of the canyon, the seals, the impossible rescue. Just another pilot, another name. But in a hospital room at Walter Reed, Henderson keeps a photograph on his bedside table, an A-10 silhouette against a canyon wall. Inscription on the back reads, "Phoenix, the one who came back for us." He looks at it every morning, reminder, promise, proof that courage matters, that one person can make a difference. And somewhere classified, a woman trains, runs, fights, flies, learning to be something new, something dangerous, something necessary. The name Maya Cross is gone, erased, but the warrior remains, sharper, harder, ready. When the next impossible mission comes, she'll be there, unnamed, unrecognized, unforgotten, flying into the storm, into the fire, into the canyon. Because that's what warriors do.